honor, country. These three hallowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, what you will be. The United States Military Academy at West Point is recognized internationally for one thing above everything else. It is the premier institution for leadership. Talking to any alumni, any recruiters, any professors, they'll all tell you the same thing. A degree from West Point will get you far in life, but that degree comes at quite the cost.
As a core squad athlete, I feel like we waste a lot of our time.
Stress. Stress.
Stress.
Stress. Stress.
Stress.
Do what you can, control what you can, and then it's dumb to say, but don't stress about the rest.
We should focus a little bit more on academics.
Relying on your brothers, your teammates, your friends, your classmates, that's the only way that you're really going to ever get through it.
Do what you can, control what you can, and then it's dumb to say, but don't stress about the rest, don't worry about the rest. So you got a test coming up and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a tough test, and you study as much as you can, and then you go into it and you're like, hey, I gave my best effort to prepare, and whatever happens is gonna happen. So there's no point in worrying about it or freaking out about it after that.
Talking to my friends, because I know that me and my brothers in arms are going through the same thing. And so by relating to people and talking to them about what they're dealing with, helps me sort of digest and comprehend what I'm doing and evaluate it from a different perspective and allow me to handle it on a much better level than I would by myself.
Just kind of deal with it, it's not something I really think about. It's just you keep moving forward with whatever's going on. It's just something that is an external factor, it doesn't really affect you.
Yeah, I worry about stress a lot. Main way I get over it is I take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and realize it's all gonna buff in the end.
And that it's all encompassing and sort of becomes your life. What I mean by that is you're on 24/7, and it's something that you sort of have to grow into and just become accustomed to. So the way that I deal with that, I had a hard time with that whenever I was a plebe, whenever I was a yuck. But I don't focus so much on what I can't control. So for example, I have a tee on the last day and at the last hour. Is that out of my hands? Yes, so I'm just gonna try and make the best of a funky situation. And then try and focus on the positives of it being that 24/7 that it really is. That's sort of how I look at it. So I guess the most difficult part is how it can be all encompassing, and how I deal with it is my mindset.
I feel like the leadership doesn't do a great job of giving time back to the cadets. I feel like a lot of things that are done inefficiently can be done a lot more efficiently than it actually is. How I deal with it is that I have a lot of great friends who help me out, who say that they're struggling too, they're going through the suck too. So it's kind of nice to know that I'm not the only one drowning, and that if I'm to drown, at least we're drowning together,
My tips for making it through West Point are: first, work hard. It's not enough to just be smart. You also have to put in the effort, but it'll all be worth it. Second, believe in yourself. You already did awesome things just to get to this organization, and you're capable of making it all the way through. Third, ask for help whenever you need it. We're a team-based organization, and teams don't do things by themselves. Leverage the power of those around you, and you'll be even stronger together. Lastly, just know that this is all for a purpose. In a few short years, you're going to be a lieutenant in the United States Army, one of the greatest organizations in the entire world, and I promise you it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, what makes West Point special is the people. It's really challenging, but without the people, it should be a pile of rocks. So that's what makes it meaningful.